why. I think this is a must-have for anybody who has ever tried to dig a hole and was obstructed by roots. This is called an impact shovel, and it's a different type of shovel than what you probably already have in the shed or in the garage. It is a tool that does the hardest work for you. It's 50 inches in height, but it's completely collapsible. In fact, the whole thing comes apart to be able to put into a little storage or carrying bag if you are a camper or you like to do bonfires where you need to be able to throw dirt on it afterwards. That clearance sale price, that's $52.71 you'll never have to spend again because this thing is built like a tank. It is already customer top rated. Pardon me. It's brought to us by the son of a gentleman that I've had the pleasure of working with for decades. The father's name is John Yiser, who I believe is a 5th generation inventor. His son Jack is with us representing this particular item, broadcasting from their home in California. Jack, welcome back again. It's wonderful to have you with us.
Thank you, Dan. And you know, it is a wonderful invention. And here we have something really cool. So right now in its bottom position, it's just like your regular D-handle shovel. But if I were to extend it out, now it all of a sudden becomes a much larger shovel, which you can use for the big jobs in your yard. But the most important part about this is the slide hammer. And now you called it an impact shovel. It's just like an impact wrench. It does the work for you. I'm gonna come down to these simulation roots that we have down here, and we're just gonna start slicing through them with no problem. The easiest thing, look at that, just 2 strikes and it's already through a very thick root.
Now, what I'd like to do, if I can, Jack, I'm gonna go ahead and put because that's a direction, go ahead and keep that camera angle. Show us what you're doing with the top of the shovel, because that's where the impact part gives you so much strength.
Look at this, Dan. I'm only using 2 fingers, and I'll take 3 of them off to show everyone at home. Cutting straight through these. No problems. Anyone can do this. It's too easy.
Yeah.
Shoveling is not hard work anymore.
Now, and it's not just roots. Let's say you're trying to extend out a flower bed and you've just got grass. Grass is not easy to cut through because it is such a web of smaller roots. So you can use that same impact shovel again by just dropping it, and it literally, I hate to use the oldest cliche, but it is like a knife through hot butter, how quickly you can cut through things like sod and deep grass and those tree roots. It takes the back-breaking part of digging a hole out of digging a hole.
Exactly. And Dan, I know you're into cars, and so you know using a regular wrench, it can be difficult. It can be hard work. You can, get big calluses on your hands. Yeah. But then we came out with the impact gun, and now all of a sudden wrenching on things became easy. This is the same concept. Right now, these are a bunch of rocks, right? And normally shoveling through rocks isn't easy. But look at this. I'm digging straight through rocks. Now this could be rocks, hard soil, or you gave up the example of grass. Cutting through grass, usually with a regular shovel, you are putting all your weight on the back of that shovel head. You're really having to balance on it. But with this shovel, we're just gonna cut straight through.
Yeah, look at that.
And make a razor sharp line with no trouble. Now, it's just too easy, Dan. It's too easy. And same thing with just planting your bulbs in your garden. Just a couple of good strikes. We're gonna open up this soil real quick, drop in our flowers.
Yep.
And we're practically done already. It's, again, I hate to reuse too easy too much, but this is just making garden work too easy, Dan.
Well, now the other factor, which is really cool about the shovel, is I can take this handle and lock it out. So now I've got a long length regular shovel. But down at the very tip, here's the business end of it. That little V that is cut into that hardened steel now becomes like a guillotine to roots. And we're talking about roots that are as big and fat around as my finger. So you're gonna expect me to say good things about it. I happen to be a host here at QVC, okay? Probably expect Jack to say something good about it because his family invented it. What is wonderful is the hundreds of people who took the time to review this shovel and give it the highest rating that they could give it. And they did so because it made their back-breaking work less back-breaking. Isn't that what you want from a shovel?
Exactly. And you know, the guillotine example is maybe a little dark, but you know, it's very poignant. It, you know, this root guide makes it so you're never gonna miss a root. Any root that you get in your sights is gone in seconds.
I love that because you see those little roots that you're showing just kind of explode off of that demonstration board. And the best part is it works every bit as well in a real backyard situation where all you want to do is to dig a hole, but there's always things in the way. Nobody has fluffy peat moss-like soil. And if you've got Georgia clay in your backyard, and you know how hard it is to dig a hole, use that impact to be able to drive that shovel deep into the ground. You become like a superhuman strength individual. It's pretty cool.
Exactly. And you know, this B-roll is just showing you how the slide hammer actually works. You know, it's all self-contained, and it just amplifies whatever force you're using and does extra work for you. Now, I think what's most important is here we're going to see just how thick some of these roots can be that we're cutting straight through. It's making this difficult work extremely easy. You know, this root was there and you couldn't plant a tree there before, but now you can. Easy cutting through grass. It's really just so simplified. Easily to take out weeds. This really gets, you know, we always say you got to get weeds out at the root. Well, let's just remove the roots entirely.
I noticed that was your sister in the videotape. Am I right, Jack?
Exactly, yes. You know, this is a complete family business.
Yeah.
And you can see her here digging a nice little fire pit in some really tough soil, but she makes it look easy.
How many generations of inventors do you have in your family?
I'd be the 5th generation.
5th generation.
Yes.
I've got to tell you, listen, I won't embarrass the guy, but your dad is one of the greatest guys I've ever worked with. To see him passing along that entrepreneurial spirit. I know that both you and your sister have invented items. The fact that you bring them to my show makes me happy, and I thank you. Tell your sister, tell your dad, the rest of the family that Dan Hughes said hello, and I can't wait to work with you once again. All right, Jack?
Will do. Thank you, Dan.
Be
Bye.
well. That's a cool kid. That's wonderful. All right, we've got a lot more coming your way. We're not going to have time to present this, but it is available, and it's the 23rd item in the show. This is Martha Stewart's Fruit Basket